Today on America's Court with Judge Ross.
So the male cat will spray to mark the territory.
Yes.
You're familiar with that?
I'm familiar, but I'd never seen it, nor had I smelt it or known how bad it really is.
So how bad is it?
It's horrible.
The whole purpose behind law is to right wrong. I want justice to be something that isn't this foreign concept.
Justice knows no boundaries. The truth will be heard. Fair, firm, compassionate. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Tony May is suing Lola Hill in the amount of $949.99. Ms. May claims Ms. Hill's cat destroyed her computer. Ms. Hill claims the plaintiff destroyed her own computer, and she's countersuing for vet bills.
All rise. Remain standing and come to order. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Kevin Ross presiding.
Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated.
All parties been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Deputy Thomas. Let's talk about this lawsuit over the computer.
Yes.
And the damage to the computer was caused by the cat. You want her to pay for the injuries to the cat. What's the deal with the cat?
Okay, so my little kitty Smithers.
Smithers?
Yeah.
Okay.
He started marking his territory. I started spraying.
And so when a cat sprays, you're saying that the urine goes like a mist?
Yeah.
But it's not just because they need to use the bathroom. They're making a statement.
Yeah, right.
See, I'm not a cat person.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
And so this is common.
Yes.
right.
Common when they're starting to mature.
I
And they're
see.
not kittens anymore.
Got it.
And that's when you have to get them spayed and neutered.
And how long have you been someone that has cats?
I've been a cat person all my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
The two of you are roommates.
Yes.
Did you know about the whole process of a kitten who's it's only the men? Or do the female
Mostly
cats?
the men.
Mostly the men.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of
why am I not
course.
surprised? All right, so the male cat will spray to mark the territory.
Yes.
You're familiar with that?
I'm familiar, but I'd never seen it, nor had I smelt it or known how bad it really is.
So how bad is it?
It's horrible.
You weren't happy about that.
Not one bit.
And it just so happened that the cat sprayed near your computer.
It sprayed my actual computer, and it messed up my motherboard.
Now, out of all the places, why is it marking on the computer? Was it something about the location of the computer?
It marks new things.
Well, where was the computer when the cat...
It was on the floor.
What was your computer doing on the floor?
Well, I had let my roommate borrow it, but she knows.
Is there another roommate or just the two of you?
No, it's just
It
me
was
and
me.
Lola.
She let you borrow it?
Yeah,
You
she was
left it on the
cooking.
floor.
Yeah, I did. I put it...
Why would you leave a computer? Well, I mean, come on, you're at home.
yeah.
It happens.
I was sitting down.
I'm sitting here thinking, have I ever left the computer on the floor? Probably.
I just
right.
went to go to the bathroom. I just put it down really quick, and then...
You were in the apartment when it happened?
I was in the apartment, but I didn't see it happen.
All right. And you were in the apartment?
Yes.
You said she was cooking.
She was
Yes.
cooking, yeah. She was
All
in the kitchen.
And did you just happen to hear a noise? Explain to me how the whole thing unfolded.
No, I saw that she got up and went to the bathroom. I went in to go actually look on my computer real quick to see that it was okay, and that's when I saw the cat walk right across.
Why, if you're cooking, all of a sudden you need to look at your computer if she's on it and you don't have any reason to think anything's wrong?
Well, I just wanted to make sure it was okay. Miss Hill is a little irresponsible, so I just wanted to make sure
Okay.
that it was okay. And it wasn't. The cat went right over and sprayed it and messed up my motherboard. It was horrible, and
Because
this-
the liquid
the liquid yes.
got inside, damaged it.
Yes.
The motherboard was not salvageable.
No, it was not.
But there's another reason that I think the computer doesn't work. Is because apparently she was trying to shoo Smithers away with her foot ever so lightly. She ended up kicking her computer, and it's like smashed. So I don't know. I
Is
don't
that
have
true?
a picture or anything, but
It is true. I tried to shoo the cat away, and I was in the kitchen, so I ran to try and stop him. And as I was running, I ran a little too fast, and I kicked my computer on accident.
Before or after the cat sprayed the computer?
Right after, in the midst of me trying to get him away and stop him.
Your position is, let's assume for the sake of this discussion, that you also caused the damage. The liquid being in it already made it inoperable.
Yes.
And your feeling is potentially it could have been cleaned out.
Yeah, I really
But
do.
because she ruined
It was
the
bad.
screen,
She really
that's
kicked it.
why she really needs a new one.
I really think that's why. And
The
Why-
monitor still worked.
Is she using your computer as opposed to using your own?
I don't have a computer, I just use my phone, but my phone was charging. And I just needed to look something up. And she let me use it. And
She says you're irresponsible. Is that true?
I don't think that's true at all.
You don't?
No.
Coming up on America's Court.
She didn't care one bit. She didn't help me look for him after. She didn't help me put signs up. I was depressed. I couldn't sleep.
Is
I
that true?
couldn't
You didn't help her look for the cat?
No, because I was busy writing the articles that were damaged.
And later,
I've actually never had a complaint about my wine. This is the first, and it just
It's the first because you've only been in business for a year.
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Tony May, who is suing Lola Hill for property damage.
Now, I understand why she's suing you. Why are you suing her?
Well, okay. So apparently she accidentally let Smithers out. And he's an indoor cat. He doesn't go out, and he's declawed. And
How did the cat get out?
The smell was just too much, and I couldn't get it off of my computer screen, so I took it outside.
And in the process of taking it outside, the cat ran out.
supposedly
Yes.
she says, because if she
And
kicked-
her behavior was what when you realized the cat was out?
Oh, she didn't care. She's like, whatever. She didn't care one bit. She didn't help me look for him after. She didn't help me put signs up. I was depressed. I couldn't sleep.
Is
I
that true?
couldn't
You
leave.
didn't help her look for the cat?
No, because I was busy writing the articles that were damaged.
How were you able to rewrite it if the computer was ruined?
I went out and bought another one.
I didn't find him for 4 days.
All right.
I was.
It is reasonable for her to be focused on the thing that she values. It is reasonable for you to focus on the thing
Right.
you value. Because as you're sitting here saying, she didn't help me look for it, she didn't care, what I didn't hear you say was, oh man, I really feel sorry about your computer.
I
So you
understand.
want her to pay because when the cat came back, what happened?
So when I found Smithers, he was in our yard. He came back and heard meowing, and I go outside. He had a gash on his stomach.
You have proof of any of the injuries the cat sustained?
I do. I have them.
Let me see that.
I've got Bill.
Miss May, do you have proof that the computer cost $949.99?
Yes, I do.
I'll see that.
Here's the cat injury.
Thank you, sir. Oh, what do we have here? Is this a picture of
Yeah,
Smithers?
that's Smithers.
That's her computer.
All right, let's take a look at Smithers on the plasma. Is this before or after the incident
This is
occurred?
before. It's a little model like his mom.
You're funny. Is this the computer?
Yes.
All right, and this is the
Look
damage
at
to
that.
the
Like,
screen.
come on.
All right, I get it. And this is from the IT department.
Yes. It's a
The
pretty
crack
much.
on the screen has not affected the machine, but it's talking about the liquid to the motherboard.
And Your
And
Honor,
then this is the cost of what would be is that the same sort of, how long had you had the computer?
I had it for about a year, and
All right.
this is
Well,
just
you
a
know
newer
that
model.
you would have experienced some depreciation.
Yes, but
Yes.
not too
All
much.
right. Well, this is an invoice
right.
for anesthesia,
Yeah.
emergency procedure, because Smithers had
needed
to have antibiotics, booster shots,
He needed stitches on the
and
gap.
stitches. All right. And you thinking that she should pay you, or at least offset the cost of the computer?
Yes.
I got it.
Yes.
Based on the evidence and testimony before this court. Let's start with the computer. You cannot have the full cost because obviously there's some depreciation if you had the computer for a year. But given the circumstances here, I think it's reasonable to award you $850. That will be the cost of the monies that she will have to pay you to go buy a new computer. Now we have the issue of the $500 in terms of your costs for Smithers. These costs came as a result of the cat leaving the premises. The leaving of the premises was not something that she was negligent in behaving if she's focused on getting the computer out of the house because of the smell. If you didn't find the cat after 4 days, I cannot hold her personally liable for the damages that the cat sustained. So, as to your claim, it cannot be sustained. Your matter is dismissed. $850 for you. That is the order. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $850.
I'm very satisfied with the ruling. Next time Lola should just watch her cat.
I'm just happy that Smithers is okay now, and I just hope that nothing like this ever happens again.
And coming up on America's Court with Judge Ross.
Miss Swisher, why are you here?
I'm here because the wine made me very ill.
You were also at the party.
I was, sir.
All right. And when you say very ill, how ill?
I was vomiting profusely. I had diarrhea. I was really ill.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. Trisha Petty is suing Mark Stanley in the amount of $175. Ms. Petty claims the defendant sold her a bad bottle of wine and it ruined her dinner party. Mr. Stanley claims he's not responsible for the plaintiff's ruined dinner party.
Miss Petty, you want $175 returned because you had a bottle of bad wine.
That's correct. I had a dinner party and I purchased a $100 bottle of wine for Mr. Stanley. And once I served this wine to my party, I noticed that it had a very terrible smell and a brownish color coming from it.
That's not a good sign.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. And I had one of my guests become very sick after it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the only one that did drink her glass to its entirety.
What's your relationship with Mr. Stanley?
He's a longtime friend of mine.
All right. Mr. Stanley, are you in the business of distributing or having wines at your disposal?
Yes, Your Honor, it's a side project of mine. I have an online company where you can order a bottle of my wine, and I either have it delivered to you, or you may come to my residence where I sell it to you.
And with Miss Petty, how long have the two of you known each other?
3 years.
3 years. Up to this point, had you sold her wines previously?
No, I haven't. We've enjoyed a couple of bottles together, but there was never any transaction.
All right. You've known her for 3 years. How long have you been doing the business with the wine?
Professionally, I've been selling wine for 1 year.
Anyone who watches the show, they will tell you, Deputy Thomas, my biggest issue is what?
Customer service.
Customer service. I'm big on that. She had a bad experience with the wine. Why does she have to sue you to get the money back?
Because quite frankly, there is no wine left. There's also no proof that my wine is directly involved in her friend's sickness or ruining her dinner party.
Got it. The wine bottle was $100. Where does the additional $75 come from?
It's the groceries that I needed to buy to prepare the dinner party.
Why should you get that back?
Because he ruined the entire evening because of that bottle of wine. That's what we started off with. I'm the type of person that likes to start off with a bottle of wine with everybody, have a nice little chitter-chatter, and then we dive into our dinner. But nobody ate anything because of the wine.
Well, when she called me at 10 p.m. at night, she was very abrasive, almost harassing me.
The same night as the party?
I called him the day after.
Yes.
Oh, you called him at 10 p.m. the next night. Is that something that she would normally do, call you at 10 in the evening?
No.
If your whole day went by, and when you call him, what are you saying at this point?
I called him the day later because I needed to check up on my one guest that did get very sick, and I wanted to make sure that it was regarding the wine. Why
No, I'm
she
saying,
was
once
sick.
you called him, what did you say to him?
I just told him what happened. I opened his bottle of wine, and it was disgusting, and my guest didn't like it, and my party was ruined.
Coming up on America's Court.
How come no one else who has bought a bottle of the exact same batch of that wine has come to me with a complaint about it? I've actually never had a complaint about my wine. This is the first, and it just
It's the first because you've only been in business for a year.
Closed captioning provided by. This is America's Court with Judge Ross. We're back with the case of Trisha Petty, who is suing Mark Stanley for ruining her dinner party.
You have a relationship with this person.
Yes.
Is it just platonic?
Yes.
Has it always been platonic?
Yes.
You hesitated. Has it ever not been platonic?
It's always been a platonic relationship.
Why you hesitated again?
I personally may have some feelings for this person, but I've never acted upon them.
Okay, that would make sense. Why? Because you were like I was asking you something complicated. The reason that I'm asking this is because clearly he's hurt because you're calling and you're screaming. Well, if it's just a business deal, you wouldn't necessarily be hurt by that. But if he likes you and you're upset with him and you're like, and my friend got sick and just give me back my money, and he was probably like, oh man, I'm in trouble with her. Is that a fair statement?
Yes, Your Honor. I wanted my friend's party to go as well as possible.
All right. So she's upset and she's a friend, and this is also a business transaction. You have someone here. Who is this person?
She's one of the guests at my party.
Ma'am, step forward. What's your last name?
Swisher,
And Miss Swisher, why are you here?
I'm here because the wine made me very ill.
You were also at the party.
I was, sir.
All right. And when you say very ill, how ill?
I was vomiting profusely. I had diarrhea. I was really ill.
And would you tell me, if you recall, what the wine looked like when you saw it in your glass?
It was not red. It was red wine, but it was not red. It was brown and cloudy.
And how much did you consume of it?
I had a small glass.
So you have two people saying they had a bad experience. Why are we still here at this point?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I also
Really?
would like to know how come no one else who has bought a bottle of the exact same batch of that wine has come to me with a complaint about it. I've actually never had a complaint about my wine. This is the first, and it just
It's the first because you've only been in business for a year.
Judge Ross's verdict when America's Court returns. You're watching America's Court with Judge Ross. This is America's Court with Judge Ross.
You've been in business for a year, and a friend who you also like said, I had a bad experience, and they're not trying to get you, and we're not talking about thousands of dollars. She's just saying, pay me the money for the bottle of wine that I didn't have an experience that I expected. I didn't get the benefit of my bargain. That's what she's telling you. Based on the evidence and testimony before this court, the gavel comes down in favor of the plaintiff. Now the question is, does she get the monies back from the food that was to be served with the wine to have the total experience of the evening?
But we have not proved that it was my wine.
I'm asking myself.
Very well, Your Honor.
That's not going to happen. Not up in here, not today. You had the bad experience with the wine. That would be the equivalent of you having a bad experience with the food, but the wine was great. So now you're going to go back to the grocery store and say, and I want you to pay for the $100 bottle of wine. That wouldn't make sense. Your judgment will be in the amount of $100. I don't know why it took all of this to give her this $100, but that's what you're going to get, ma'am. Case closed.
All rise.
Judge Ross has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant is ordered to pay $100.
I'm happy with the ruling. Fortunately, I got my $100 back from the bad wine. Unfortunately, a friendship has been ruined.
I'm dissatisfied with the ruling, but $100 is not so much, and I am assured that my wine is of the highest quality.
Follow America's Court on Facebook and Twitter. This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.